Thank you for joining us this evening and welcome to our first edition of Holistic Roots. I am your host, your lioness, and today we're going to talk about vegan, plant-based, and what that means. And actually, what do ones eat who are vegan or on a primarily plant-based or all plant-based diet? And we're going to reference the African American Vegan Starter Guide. It's by Any Greens Necessary. So it's the simple ways to begin a plant-based lifestyle magazine they put out. I guess it's along with Farm Sanctuary as well. So in this, they've got several references on what to eat, getting the nutrients that you need, different recipes to get you started. So today we're going to discuss what to eat. So plant-based foods can include everything from pancakes to pizza, smoothies to salads, chili to mac and cheese, burgers to burritos, crab cakes, collard greens, BLTs, barbecue, and more. So vegan food isn't just nutritious, it can also be delicious. And don't forget the sweets, cupcakes, brownies, and puddings too. So there are four categories of vegan food. The four types of plant-based food are fruit, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes, also known as beans and nuts. When you build your meals from these four food groups, you get an unlimited variety of healthy, great-tasting dishes that meet all of your nutritional requirements. So you can take, say, some lentils or chickpeas, and even though you may want, say, like a chili or a stew and you think you want it meaty, you can use those chickpeas, lentils to give you that texture that you're looking for, in addition to other herbs and spices and TVP and mushrooms if you do the fungi. But we're going to go in and talk a little bit more about these food groups and all the great tasting dishes that you can make that will be plant-based and vegan. So a lot of people want to know what makes vegan food so healthy. Well, because it comes from plants, the food that most vegans eat, it's high in disease-preventing fibers, free of artery clogging cholesterol, and low in disease-promoting saturated fats. So animal-based foods, on the other hand, those are the most high in saturated fats and cholesterol. They contain zero fiber, so they're just kind of sticking to the inside. They don't have those fiber scrubbers. They just kind of sit there and slowly move along. Another thing is with the animal-based foods is that you're more at risk to your stroke, heart attack, diseases, clogged arteries when you consume foods that are heavy in those saturated fats and oils and aren't easily moved through the system. Now, plant-based food is high in phytochemicals and antioxidants. Those help protect against heart disease, stroke, diabetes, and certain cancers as well. So that's another benefit of the vegan lifestyle. So you get your fiber, no cholesterol, low in disease-promoting saturated fat, no harm done to animals. Win-win. So how do you create a well-balanced meal? Well, imagine your typical 9-inch plate. You want to fill half your plate with vegetables and fruit, a quarter of the plate with high-protein plant-based food, and the other quarter with whole grains. Now, you want to make sure that your plate is reflecting the whole spectrum of colors of fruits, vegetables, beans, and grains. You'll find that the phytochemicals that produce these colors help prevent and reverse chronic disease. Yeah, I mean, wealth of information in this handbook. I guess it's a handbook or an early manual from these organizations. But yes, so you you want to make sure that you're balancing out your plate. You want to make sure that you have a nice mix of vegetables, fruits, or both. You want to make sure that you've got your grains, like a rice or a quinoa. You want to make sure that you've got, some beans, like a legume. Like I said, I love chickpeas. I love lentils as well. For those who aren't sure about chickpeas, they're also known as garbanzo beans. So chickpeas, garbanzo beans, lentils. I do love a black bean. Black beans, you want to add some other vegetables when you're working with black beans to, make sure you've got some other digestives in there. I'd follow with the mint tea every time. So from there, we want to take a look at what that typical day looks like for the plant-based vegan eater. So you want to try to eat, in my opinion, I say, 6 to 8 small meals a day. Some people say less. This vegan manual says, I believe, 4 to 6, or actually they say 4 to 5. I say 6 to 8 small meals a day. That includes snacks, in between, having a nice breakfast, be that oatmeal or, a nice fruit medley with some tea. You could do something like a light starch, maybe potatoes or toast or bread, start your morning off. Mid-morning snack, maybe a banana or a smoothie, have a lunch, another snack, things like that, a little supper, dinner, late night snack, that sort of thing. Grapes, nuts, dried berries, dates, guava paste is good, things like that. Just kind of a few small meals a day, like I said, 6 to 8. And what that does, in addition to giving you just kind of constant doses of nutrition, constant doses of just energy boost throughout the day, it's also revving up your metabolism as well, because your metabolism knows that you're going to eat every so often, and it's going to be on like a regular schedule, and it's going to be moving to process that, to extract the nutrients, to facilitate those nutrients into your body, and then just move the system, so it clears it out, makes room for the next round of its natural medicine, its natural cure, its healing foods, fruits and vegetables, so you want to make sure that you are eating in regular intervals. And when you do eat a vegan or plant-based lifestyle, you do tend to eat more often, your system's moving. So you're eating, you're snacking. So you want to make sure that you're putting in quality foods into your temple and not, just throwing any old thing in there. And don't think just because a packaged food said it's vegan or vegetarian, that's absolutely 100% true. You have to read labels, and for me, best practice is to avoid packaged food, avoid processed foods as often as possible. I know in this world, I'm a mother, a single mother at that, you're constantly on the go, so you grab the easiest thing. But really, I tell you, apples and tangerines, oranges, those on-the-go foods, bananas even, those for me are great. I like to get bulk nuts and things and have those on hand, dried cranberries or blueberries or different things like that to have kind of on hand for a quick, easy on-the-go snack, as opposed to grabbing for a packaged bar or something of that nature. So we're going to go over what a typical day looks like. And like I said, that's like 6 to 8 small meals a day throughout the day. And something else that I was saying that you may want to look at is make sure that you're moving your body yourself. So what that means is, in addition to eating a certain way, make sure you're active. Make sure you're doing, some sort of physical activity, be it walking, yoga, dancing, Pilates, some sort of, fit care activity. Because yes, eating the right foods, eating healthy, eating clean, eating raw. I love to eat raw. I realize when I watch myself in the way that I eat that I love to cook. Don't get me wrong. I've cooked all sorts of foods across the board, and I love to cook. However, I love to eat raw foods most of the time, raw broccoli, carrots, the different fruits, nuts. I'm comfortable with it, and I can make a meal out of raw grapes and raw nuts and raw carrots, and that's perfect for me, as one of those middle snacks, but raw is good to have on hand too. So, but again, back to the movement. In addition to all this wonderful eating in these intervals, eating these different types of foods, move your body. So make sure that you are active. You're eating the right foods. You're eating them as often, 4 to 5, 6 to 8, whatever works best for you. Your body will tell you what it needs. Follow the instructions of your body. Listen to your body. Don't ignore what your body tells you. Don't push your body too hard. So take your time with it. And then really important is making sure that you're drinking a lot of water. In my opinion, spring water is best. However, I do feel that if you are going through certain ailments or certain conditions that your body may be overstressed, maybe hyperactive, then you want to make sure that you are introducing alkaline water into your system. And I think you should go into alkaline intervals as your body cleanses and stay steady with that, be it 7 days, be it 2 weeks. You want to go and introduce the alkaline and get your body regulated, balance yourself out, and then back to your spring water. And then just periodically introduce alkaline water into your system. You feel a little off, because what happens when you go from a carnivorous diet to a plant-based or vegan diet is that your body goes through a cleansing and a detox period where it's releasing all of the stores of fats and cholesterols and diseases that are lodged within your system, within your fat cells that suddenly are getting released because you're eating cleansing foods, you're eating cruciferous vegetables, you're detoxing your temple. And so your body detoxes itself through the blood system and then releases itself through your system, through your bowel movements and your urine and things. So you want to make sure that you are drinking enough water as you transition and then steady that out. And it's a process. I know some are better than most, and then there's the rest of us, that work really hard and try and drink as much water as we're supposed to. And it's a daily, constant practice that we need to stay on. So that is what the plant-based vegan person eats. Just some highlights that I wanted to share with you because everyone asks. I always think it's funny when people ask me, family mostly, because of course that's the biggest hurdle when you're transitioning a diet or a lifestyle that's not familiar to your family's way of eating. If they grew up eating in a certain mannerism, that's a high fat, high meat, high, just all the foods that clog every organ in your body kind of diet. And they always ask, well, oh, so you're vegetarian or you're vegan. Well, what do you eat? Like, aren't you hungry? What do you eat? And it's vegetables and fruits. I mean, and the list of fruits, once you travel, like I've traveled all over the world. I've been to Africa, I've been to South America, I've been to Indonesia, Mexico, Canada. I mean, there are fruits on top of fruits that are so beautiful, so tasty, so plentiful. So many fruits. You've got so many vegetables. You can make food and dishes upon dishes. The possibilities are endless. The thing is, people get stuck on your basics. They're like broccoli, carrots, cabbage, kale, because that's our superstar right now. But they forget, there's so much more out there. There's bok choy, there's chard, there's Swiss chard, there's, all sorts of different green varieties, all your collards, your mustards, your turnips. There's so many different greens, potatoes, yams, sweet potatoes, beets, all sorts of roots, rutabagas, turnips, just all sorts of vegetables, artichokes, melitone, just so many different foods. Go to different markets. Check out the Asian markets. Check out the Middle Eastern markets. check out the African markets, check out the Hispanic markets, and see the produce. The produce is varied. Yeah, you'll see the familiar stars, your apples, your pears, your nectarines, the common grounds. But then you'll see some other exotics. Take a look, pick one up, try them. There's so many foods. The possibilities are endless when it comes to what a plant-based or vegan person eats. So it's a strange question to me. And it's like, because most people you talk to that are meat and potato folks, like that's it. That one introduction of a vegetable is that every occasional, I'll have a side of broccoli to appease whoever I'm eating with, but I really don't want the broccoli. You know what I mean? But if I'm going to eat it, I'm going to eat it smothered in butter. So there's more to the plant-based vegan world, vegetarian world than broccoli. So, and apples. Try some fruits, try some veggies, expand your palette of the garden variety of fruits and veggies. So, well, that's our talk for this evening. I think I've shared plenty on what to eat when plant-based, vegan, vegetarian, or for those who are just those things at certain times. But that's the deal. Pick up a fruit, pick up a vegetable, and try it out. Do one of those challenges. They always have those 7-day vegan challenges, 3-day vegan. Do it. If veganism, vegetarian, plant-based is something that you're interested in and you think it will work for your health, your blood type, your lifestyle, try it. Do a 3-day challenge for yourself. 3 days. Fruits, veggies, grains, nuts. And see how you feel. See how your body feels. See if you feel like you're a little bit lighter, have a little bit more energy, a little more pep in your step, not so sluggish. Just watch your mornings and how you release. And it may be difficult in the beginning because, when we are transitioning to something new, there are challenges, there are hurdles, there's things that our body goes through that will be foreign to you. Maybe not, but for some, there's a lot of new experiences that their body goes through and they're not quite used to it, but take your time with it. Ease into it, just look up some recipes that are simple enough with ingredients that are easy to find at any major grocery store that you don't really have to go on a scavenger hunt for. And make a dish. I mean, it's as easy as making spaghetti with marinara sauce is a simple vegan dish that can be made. Great veggies. I remember I had a friend back in the day that was a big fan of mushrooms. Introduced me to a world of mushrooms I'd never even heard of, never even knew existed. There's lobster mushrooms and all your creminis and all this other stuff that taste like, or give you the textures that people feel like they're missing, especially in the beginning. It's a real big texture issue. So there are ways to achieve that. I do use TVP periodically. I'm not a huge fan of soy, but I do have the occasional tofu and TVP. And there's great substitutes and great textures in those that you can use to substitute and give you that texture and feel into your vegan dishes, like a vegan lasagna, a vegan spaghetti sauce, things like that. So you can do vegan enchiladas. I mean, there's vegan, there's vegetarian, there are options, and there are plenty. And we will discuss them. Not this evening, though, but we will discuss them at another time. And we'll even go over some recipes and do some experimental cooking together. And but I'll post and I'll let you know when that happens. And I look forward to seeing you there. So thank you. This was our first edition of Holistic Roots. Just wanted to talk a little bit about plant-based and vegan eating, vegetarian eating, and what all that means. So till next time, I'll see ya.